General George S. Patton was born on November 11, 1885. He was born into a family with a strong military heritage dating all the way back to the American Revolution. He went to Virginia Military Institute for 2 years and then transferred to West Point on recommendation from Senator Thomas Bard. Once he graduated, he was assigned to a Border Patrol unit in Sierra Blanca, and then to assist John Pershing in commanding raids into Columbus, Mexico, during the Mexican Revolution. During World War I, he trained the first tank crew members and took part in the largest tank battles of the war. This is Patton in front of a tank that he rode in during World War I. He thought highly of the tank, as he says in this quote, "Tanks are new and special weapons, newer than, as special, and certainly as valuable as the airplane." Because of his expertise and bravery on the front lines, he quickly rose to the ranks of colonel. When Japan attacked Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, America sprang into action. By the following summer of 1942, Eisenhower was already invading North Africa during Operation Torch. Patton was serving under him and was assigned to the Western Task Force as the commander. He was strict as a commander. He strongly enforced uniform rules and demanded that everyone be on a tight schedule. He wasn't just strict, however. He would also walk among the troops to see how they were doing and offered help wherever possible. He was also known for leading from the front, not the rear as most generals did. After Operation Torch was completed, the race began with Britain towards Sicily, and Operation Husky began. The British commander was General Montgomery. Now, the reason that Patton and Montgomery were racing is because whoever arrived first took the shorter route towards Messina, which is the closest point to Italy, and they would receive credit for freeing the island. Sadly, Montgomery arrived first and took the eastern side of the island, while Patton had to take the longer route around the western side. When Montgomery became bogged down under heavy enemy resistance and poor weather, Patton seized the opportunity and sped through the countryside and arrived at Messina before Montgomery. During the assault on Sicily, several incidents happened that gave Patton a bad reputation. On 2 separate occasions, Patton slapped soldiers that were in the hospital with battle fatigue, now known as post-traumatic stress disorder, or PTSD. Patton only saw it as an excuse for a soldier to get away from the front lines, and he orally assaulted both of the soldiers in those incidents. When his superior, Eisenhower, heard of this, he demanded that Patton apologize for his actions. So, in a true military manner, he apologized to the 2 soldiers personally, and then addressed everyone under his command in a series of speeches apologizing. After this, Patton and the Third Army were joined with the 21st Army Group of Britain, commanded by Montgomery. They became a part of the Normandy invasion. Again, Patton drove at a hard pace, so hard in fact that they had to use airplanes instead of light vehicles to provide forward recon. Unfortunately, the supply lines could not keep up, so the Third Army came to a grinding halt. When Germany made a last-ditch effort to push into a weak spot in the Allied lines, Patton said he could have at least 3 divisions there in a matter of days. Although Eisenhower didn't believe him, 2 days later Patton had 6 full divisions on the way to Bastogne to give relief to those fighting in the Battle of the Bulge, and he was able to hold off the attack. From when the Third Army touched down the beaches of Normandy, they were fighting non-stop for over 280 days. They freed thousands of towns and cities, and they have claimed to have killed, captured, or wounded over 1.8 million Germans. The reason for these large numbers is because of George Patton. He was a fearless warrior and an inspirational man. He summed himself up in one line: "May God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't." Patton died on December 21, 1945 of heart failure. Per request, he was buried at Luxembourg American Cemetery and Memorial in Ham, Luxembourg, because he wanted to be buried alongside the men who died under his command. I'll leave you this quote by George Orwell that fits Patton very well. "Good people sleep peacefully in their beds at night because rough men stand ready to do violence on their behalf."